The Four Emperors are a group of extremely powerful pirates in the world of One Piece, who have gained their title by achieving more than just power, and I will be explaining all of the current Four Emperors, but not the old ones like Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom, although I'm happy to make a video on all of them as well, if this video makes it to 30 likes. But with that all said and done, let's jump right on into this. Red-Haired Shanks is a pirate that was an apprentice alongside Buggy the Clown on Goldie Roger, the king of the pirate ship, and then, after the death of Roger, he became a pirate captain, and gained his own crew, the Red-Haired Pirates, which consist of some very powerful people, known as Lucky Roo, Yasopp, Ben Beckman, and more, but he doesn't just have command over his own crew, he also has a number of other pirate captains that all follow him. Although I wouldn't exactly say they're very helpful, because according to Shanks, the only reason they're infamous is because of how weak they are. But he is also allied with the Giant Warrior Pirates, which is the crew belonging to Dory and Boggy, who first appeared in the Little Garden arc, which happened during the Alabasta saga, and the main difference between Dory and Boggy and the other captains is the fact that they're absolutely swole. But Shanks' allies aside, I want to talk about the most interesting part about him, which is the fact that he is the son of Saint Figaland Garland, who is the current leader of the Holy Knights, and from what I can tell, Figaland is of noble birth, meaning that he's a celestial dragon, and that also means that Shanks should be one as well, but he was raised on a pirate ship, far away from Marijua, which is currently unexplained as to why, but I do believe that they still have some kind of connection, because we did see that Shanks went to meet with the Five Elders during the Reverie. But that aside, I want to quickly mention his power level, which I will do for all of the Emperors and then rank them on weakest to strongest. So Shanks is very strong, that's just a fact, because he wiped out Kid in one blow and is obviously capable of very powerful Conqueror's hockey, as when we see him on Whitebeard's ship, people begin passing out just from his presence alone, so I'm going to say that out of all of the Emperors, he's number 2. However, with that said and done, let's move on to the next Emperor. Buggy was another apprentice on Goldie Roger's crew, although unlike Shanks, he didn't have the immediate power-up. In fact, things didn't go so well for him, because Shanks shocked the poor guy into eating a devil fruit, so he lost the ability to swim, and when the crew disbanded, he formed the Buggy Pirates, who took over Orange Town and ruled it until the arrival of Straw Hat Luffy, who sent him flying and in pieces because of the devil fruit that he accidentally ate, which was the Chop Chop fruit, which allows its user to split their body into pieces and allows those pieces to float as long as the feet are touching the ground. However, after meeting Luffy again in Logtown, we don't see much of Buggy, but he's now on his own journey in the Grand Line to get Captain John's treasure, although while searching for it, he ends up getting captured by the Marines and taken to Impel Down, where he gets involved in the Summit War. That actually allows him to become a Warlord of the Sea, which is a title that he doesn't get to keep. But back to Buggy's story, because after he is sent flying, he teams up with Iron Mace Alvida, the first villain of One Piece, and together they go ahead and save Buggy's crew, and begin chasing after Luffy so that they can both get their revenge. Because of course, the Warlords are disbanded at the Reverie, but this is not the end for Buggy, as he establishes the Cross Guild, which is an organization led by Buggy and 2 other past warlords that puts bounties on the heads of Marines, and the world saw this as such a threat that they gave Buggy the Clown, or as he's better known, the Genius Jester, the title of Emperor. And it's kind of funny how Buggy isn't really the leader of Cross Guild, it's just everyone thinks he is, but either way, that's Buggy, who is number 1 on the ranking. You hear it here, folks, he is number 1. Okay, I am just kidding, he isn't number 1, in fact he's number 4, but with that said and done, let's move on to the 3rd Emperor. Marshal D. Teach, also known as Blackbeard, is currently the Bastard Emperor because he joined Whitebeard's crew when he was still a child and was practically raised by Whitebeard as one of his sons, but then one day he killed a fellow crewmate so that he could take a devil fruit off him, which was the dark fruit. And this would have been bad on its own, but Whitebeard's crew was like a family, so Blackbeard killed his own brother in a way and then fled, only to be chased down by Ace, who was Whitebeard's 2nd Division commander at the time. But even so, with the power of the dark fruit, Blackbeard was able to beat Ace and then hand him over to the world government so that he could become a warlord. And whilst he was a warlord, he broke into Impel Down, where he freed a lot of very infamous prisoners and took 4 of the strongest ones as well as a former warden of the prison, and then proceeded to take them to Marineford, where he finished off Whitebeard and then stole his devil fruit, making him the only person in the world of One Piece to have more than one devil fruit. Although that isn't where the story ends, because after Marineford, he was considered an emperor, but he was yet to take over Pirate Island, which kind of made him the captain of thousands of pirates, and he even convinced a former admiral, Aokiji, to join his forces. And the most recent thing we've seen of him is his victory against Trafalgar Law and his crew, the Heart Pirates. So in conclusion, I'm going to go ahead and put Blackbeard as number 1 on the ranking. Because I personally think that if Shanks and Blackbeard were to fight, Shanks would lose, because Blackbeard is just one of those characters that always wins every battle, no matter how much they've been battered just due to some sort of cheesy tactic. Well, until the final battle they're in, they always lose that one. But anyways, moving on to the last emperor and main character of One Piece. Luffy is the main character of One Piece, so obviously there is going to be a lot more info on him than the others, but I'm only going to talk about the important parts, like how Luffy is actually the son of the revolutionary dragon and grandson of naval hero Garp, but also the fact that when he was younger he met with another emperor, Shanks, who also gave Luffy his iconic straw hat, and accidentally gave him the Gum fruit, but after Shanks left, he went to live with his brother Ace and eventually his brother Sabo, who had originally intended to form a crew together, but things don't turn out that way, so Luffy gathers his own crew known as the Straw Hat Pirates, which are eventually split up by the warlord Kuma for a total of 2 years before coming together again and heading to the New World, where Luffy eventually joins up with another member of the worst generation, Trafalgar Law, so that they can beat Doflamingo and eventually the King of the Beasts, Kaido. But ignoring Kaido for a minute, because when Luffy beats Doflamingo, he forms the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, which is actually his first proper step into becoming an emperor. As every single emperor in the series has some form of alliance or affiliate, for example Kaido, who has a ton of different crews all under his command, although that alone isn't enough to become an emperor, so Luffy first raids Big Mom's big ol' wedding, and is given the title of 5th Emperor of the Sea by Big News Morgan, but that was kind of just a made-up term by the Birdman, because it was really only when Luffy beat Kaido in the raid of Onigashima after using Gear 5 for the first time did he really deserve the title of an emperor, and also I think the fact that he used Gear 5 did contribute, because the world government want that Sun God fruit back. But ranking-wise, I'm going to go ahead and put Luffy at 3 on the ranking, because he has already mastered observation hockey and he can use Ryu. Also, he's got a mythical zone, so, you know, obviously he's pretty powerful. But anyways, that is all of the emperors explained and the end of the video. So if you enjoyed, please make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and of course, subscribe, because we are aiming for a total of 500 subs by the end of the year, and any help in that goal would be much appreciated. However, with that all said and done, I hope you have all enjoyed, and goodbye to you lovely, lovely people.